held its second major tournament over the weekend at a range known as Blades. The event formed the second part of 5 events to be played this year in the league. The sports fan cameras were out in Boksburg to catch some of the action.
It's one of the main events in Joburg. It's a GPPL, so a lot of the Joburg teams are here to compete. It's quite tough competition. It's basically the Gauteng groups playing against each other. Well, it's an awesome field, but because of all the rain you guys have had, it's a little muddy out there. So diving around on the mud, it's a lot of fun, but you can't really move around, but we enjoy it. We're like little kids playing Cowboys and Indians. Since last year, the paintball has been registered as a sport in South Africa. So we've actually started up a committee called the SAPBA, South African Paintball Association, which basically oversees all the tournaments, basically gets the standard all the same, and basically checks out the fields to see that the safety standards are all compliant to their specifications. And then further down the line, at the end of the year, we're going to meet up with all the various different provinces, and then we're going to meet up to play the nationals, and then we're going to be giving out South African colours for paintball.
I started paintball when I was like 13 years old, a long time ago, and that was back in Finland. That's where I was born and raised. And I started playing pro paintball in 2003, and then eventually moved to the States, and then I play pro paintball in the United States. It's good. Like the team I'm playing with, Team Reapers, they play really good paintball, and you know the lower teams are getting better and better. It's good.
It's a very expensive sport to play, especially if you're not sponsored. We have a lot of talented players here, that's for sure. We have a lot of young guys which are really talented, which is a pity because they can play pro, but the money's holding them back. We play internationally. We play the Millennium. We play Div 1. There's 5 divisions. There's N5, Div 1, Div 2, SPL, CPL. So we're kind of in the middle. We're doing okay. We're struggling a little bit, but we've got a lot of new young guys. Overseas, the quality of play is a lot better because they have better facilities. The training camps are better. They can train indoors where we don't have that. So it all comes down to money, where they can train indoors with reballs, which doesn't mean you shoot paint. It means you shoot balls that don't break, so you can pick them up and train again, whereas we don't have those facilities here. So it costs us more money to train, as it doesn't cost them as much. You're playing, it's 2 teams playing against each other. In this format, you're playing 5 minutes. The first game will start. Basically, there's a buzzer on each side of the field. So when the 5 minutes starts, if my team touches the buzzer on the other side, I get a point. The 5-minute counter will then stop. The 2-minute counter will then start, which gives you 2 minutes to get ready for the next game. But once the 5 minutes is up, the team with the most points will win. And in this format, basically, if you've won 2 games in a row, you win. So and you have your coaches as well, which makes it really interesting, because before, it used to be paintball in the bush, where there was no coaches, and spectators couldn't really watch it. You know, obviously, it's nothing better than being on the field and having your team name shouted out and your name shouted out. It just, you know, it's like any other sport. It just gives you that extra sort of boost. You have to really be fit on the field. If you're not really fit, because you're playing international, you're playing 15 minutes. So you could end up playing 7 games in a row, which you physically really need to be fit. And speed and size counts, because if you're a big guy and you're not really fit, the young 16-year-olds, like on our team, the young 16-year-olds are really fast, so they get up the field quick. And I've got to struggle to keep up with them because I'm 35 years old and they're like really young kids, so fitness really does play a part. So you need to go to gym, make sure you're fit, so you can run around and dive in the mud. Paintball for most is a lifestyle, you know. I mean, I live, and my teammates, we all live for paintball. I mean, if I miss a weekend of practice, you know, I feel really itchy for the following week, you know. So yeah, it's a lifestyle, and it's generally a hobby sport. But you know, we all take it seriously now that we want to obviously fight for our colours and you know, playing overseas and to represent South Africa, which is going to be fantastic.
The ball